y'all. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well. Well, as you can see, we've got several stories that we're going to be covering here in this video. There's a lot to talk about, lots going on, and then some speculation of things. And I'd love to know your thoughts about it all down below in the comment section. So be ready for that. Again, welcome back to my channel if you're already part of the family, and welcome to the channel if you're new here. And so we're just getting everything queued up, teed up, ready for this. We're going to be talking about Quad. Yes, Miss Quad, because she got it. And then we're also talking about Peter Thomas, who is formerly of RHOA. And we're also going to be talking about Bryson, Nene's son, which we already know who Nene is, also formerly from RHOA. And then lastly, we're going to ring it in with Jeremy, Tamar Braxton's fiance, and what's going on there. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Now, starting with the first story sharing, we're going to go with Miss Quad, because I am super happy to be hearing about this news. Maybe you have heard of it. I hadn't, but I needed to make sure I brought this to my platform and share and talk and chat with you about it. So apparently Miss Quad has found her man. Yeah, she's gone Instagram official, and I could not be happier. Let me tell you, I have been waiting and waiting for this kind of news for a while for her, because I think she is great. I really do. Now, she's had some controversial time on Married to Medicine, if you watch it, but that's okay. We are here for her. I just am so happy to hear about this for her. So let's get on into it. Oh, look at that. We're jumping ahead already. There we go. Let's get into the love first. Plenty of time for all the other stuff. So now, according to Reality T, Quad Webb went Instagram official with her new boyfriend. So apparently love is in the air in Atlanta. Married to Medicine star Quad Webb has gone Instagram official with her new boo. Technically, they went semi-official because she's keeping his identity under wraps. Either way, we're happy to see Quad happy. Now, this marks the first time we've seen Quad publicly with a guy since her dramatic divorce from Dr. Craig Lunsford nearly 5 years ago. We all knew that Dr. Craig already moved on with newbie M2M cast member Letitia Lunsford, and it was definitely time for Quad to do the same, and it looks like she might have upgraded. Now, check out Quad's new man. Let's get on with this. So Quad debuted her new guy at the second annual Med Gala in Atlanta. They dressed to the nines, and she shared a few pictures of them lovingly posing at the event. In the caption, she had wrote $1 million. How am I going to mess this up? $1 million baby. Yeah, I love to hear it. Now, since Quad chose not to tag her new boo in the post, it's left for us all to speculate about the identity of this mystery man. Is he a doctor? Is he an aspiring reality TV star? If you recognize this man, let us know. Now, in the meantime, tons of broad celebrities have dropped into Quad's comments to shower her with words of support, from Real Housewives of Atlanta, Portia Williams, Monietta Shaw, Candy Burris, and Cynthia Bailey all left words of support. I'd love to see it. Love to see it. For example, Portia had wrote, "Congratulations, you deserve all this love and more." And curiously absent from the comments, though, were Quad's Married to Medicine castmates. They were nowhere to be found on the Instagram post, not even a single heart emoji. So we're hoping this isn't a sign of more trouble in the friend group. We'd love to see Quad have a blissful season for once. And of course, you can catch Married to Medicine on Peacock, as you should be streaming the past episodes for past seasons. They've recently wrapped up, maybe about a couple of months or so, the season that they currently were in. We all know, if you watch Married to Medicine, it was kind of a rough one in the beginning for Quad. It really was. It broke my heart, honestly, to watch how things played out for her. I absolutely adore Quad. I know that could be controversy based off how you feel about certain things that have happened in the past and wherever you may sit. But as far as I feel at this point in time, I just love Quad. I think she is a great addition to the cast. And I like her in her moment when she is in her comedic era, I guess, and one where it's not so sad and belabored by the foolishness and nonsense of things that can happen that really have no merit or necessary reason to belong. I really do wish, and this could be an unpopular opinion, but I really do wish her and Mariah would be able to find a way back to reconciliation. It seems like things are too far gone. But if it was, my choice, I would love for them to reconcile. I love them two together, and I would even love Mariah to come back to Married to Medicine and, all of that. So I know there's definitely different camps for different things on this, but I personally would love to see Mariah and Quad reconcile and be a force, be a team, a workable force, and back on the show. So who knows, maybe putting that out in the ether, maybe something will happen or maybe it won't. I don't know, but well wishes on that. But let me know your thoughts about that. Are you happy to see that Quad's in a new relationship? And do you think we'll see this new romance on Married to Medicine season 11? Because as you know, she was abruptly taken off of season 10. Ugh, so upset about that. But so right now, this is showing that she's probably going to be back on, and I am happy for it. So what are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comment section, and let's move on to the next story because we've got several of them to cover. All right, we are now moving on to Nene Leaks and her son Bryson. Now we all have probably heard quite a bit of Bryson and the type of years he's had since he's been on RHOA. It's been pretty troubling and challenging for him, it seems, most times, and the hits keep on coming, but maybe there's a little bit of a reprieve that has just happened for him, and we'll just see what he does with that second chance. So let's get into this. Now, according to Reality T, Nene Leaks son, Bryson Bryan, was sentenced in his fentanyl case, and he avoids jail time. All right, so we're going to change up a couple of the words here. So when I say fentanyl, then you know what I'm talking about, right? It's probably a little still too close. We'll just say the F stuff, okay? Now, Nene Leaks' oldest child, Bryson Bryan, just received his sentence for his F case. And luckily for him, it's devoid of spending any additional time in jail. Many times on Real Housewives of Atlanta, we watched as Nene tried to redirect her son. His life was spiraling faster than Kenya Moore's twirls, and that's really shady. And obviously, this was concerning. However, his arrest on July 3rd of 2023 in Georgia had proved that sometimes a mother can only do but so much. Yeah, that is true. I mean, at this point, you are responsible for your own actions and such, especially when you're an adult. So Darren Bryson's arrest, the police claimed that they encountered him on someone else's property in Lawrenceville around 1 a.m. Bryson then told the police that he knew the people who lived there, which was false. While being questioned, Bryson gave them his brother's name, Brent Leaks, which added on an additional charge to his case. In addition, Bryson also received a probation violation from a separate case once he entered into custody. Even still, Bryson's sentence now leaves him standing on the outside of the prison yards, and I'm pretty sure he could not be any happier about that. Now, hopefully this arrest is Bryson's last. We do hope that for him. I do hope that he's able to turn a corner at some point here. While the police were investigating Bryson, they reported that they had found the F stuff on him, and on this, Bryson originally pleaded not guilty. Even still, a possession of a Schedule II controlled substance charge arrived. However, in court documents that In Touch procured, we've since learned that Bryson has just reached a plea deal on the matter. In this deal, the prosecution dismissed the possession charge. In turn, Bryson had to plead guilty to a misdemeanor. This charge is giving false information to a law enforcement officer, and the court has sentenced Bryson to 12 months of probation alongside a $500 fine. Now, Bryson also has to complete 40 hours of community service within the first 6 months of his probation. Additionally, he needs to undergo random drug tests scheduled at the whims of his assigned probation officer, which is usually how these things go. This is a pretty easy sentence. If you ask me, Bryson's plea deal was a great move. Substance abuse treatment and a dry lifestyle moving forward are Bryson's main keys to staying out of jail, and hopefully Bryson's going to take this gift horse and happily gallop far away, riding into a new era of changes and charges-free living. And of course, the questions are definitely going to be here. For the fact is, drop those down in the comment section. Are you surprised that Bryson had received this accepted plea deal? And just honestly, what are your thoughts about the deal that he's been able to come out of this situation with 12 months of probation and a $500 fine? 9 and 40 hours of community service. Do you think that's fair? How do you feel? Honestly, he has had to deal with a lot of upheaval over the last few years, and obviously his, stepfather, Craig, passing away was not been a sure and easy thing to deal with, right? I mean, that's a huge loss for the family. He was, appeared to be quite the monumental figure in their family. So that, I'm sure, just adds more to, the need and the feel to escape through these means of doing different things. But I would really love to see Bryson change, his direction in life, and to actually get some wins in there. So maybe this will be the start of that, of him being able to kind of brush himself off, go through the proper channels that he needs to take care of in order to no longer be placed in this situation, and start changing things for the better and turning things around. And if I'm not mistaken, I do believe he has children, so this would be really good for him to be able to do that, and not only for himself but also be able to be there fully present for his children. So yeah, your thoughts, let me know down below, respectfully, of course. We want to keep them as positive as we can and as far as thought-provoking as we can, of course, too. But just want to kind of give, I guess, a little ease on this for him, because I know that he has been through some challenging times and some challenging moments, and maybe we'll start to see some changes here. That's my hope for him. So let me know your thoughts down below. All right, so now we're going to move on to the next story. It feels like a rapid fire situation, doesn't it? Oh, but we're going on to Peter Thomas. Now, apparently, Peter Thomas about a couple weeks ago had placed himself on social media, and he was letting us know that he was basically accepted responsibility and apologized for the things that was going on at the time. And we all know that Peter has gone through a lot of financial issues with his restaurants, and the business situation has just not really been working out for him, it seems like. I don't even know if any of his restaurants or even still open, his bar ones or any associated affiliates are open in any of the locations. I know he had one in Atlanta, one in Charlottesville, I believe. If not Charlottesville, it was definitely North Carolina somewhere, and maybe Charlotte. And I think he had also something in Miami, and the one in Miami is actually, or the start of one maybe in Miami, I can't remember where he was in the stage of that. I think he actually was, I think it actually was open in Miami. It was featured on RHOP. So at the end of the day, it just, everything seems like all chickens came home to roost, and he had to get to a point of, now we just got to, stop, right? We just have to stop. It was just too many cases, too many things going, and it was just really a spiraling down to nothingness. So let's get into this. Basically, according to Pop Culture, it is sharing that Real Housewives of Atlanta star pleads guilty, and details on his case are going to be shared in this sharing. So now Peter Thomas can't stay out of trouble for business matters. His financial issues as it relates to the serial entrepreneur's business acumen have been in the spotlight since he and his ex-wife model Cynthia Bailey had joined the Real Housewives of Atlanta in season 3. His latest eatery, Bar 1 Baltimore, lasted less than a year on the famed East Harbor section in Baltimore, Maryland, after failed restaurants in Atlanta, Miami, and Charlotte. So yeah, Atlanta, Miami, Charlotte, and Baltimore was the fourth one. So apparently here, according to sharing, all of those failed. So that's really unfortunate. Now the Baltimore Banner reports he's pleaded guilty in a $2.5 million federal tax case. Now, before permanently closing Bar 1 Baltimore, the controversial reality star blamed Bar 1's problems on his employees. He accused them of stealing money from the business, and court documents unearthed revealed otherwise, reporting Thomas failed to pay more than $2.5 million in employment taxes withheld from his workers' paychecks in Baltimore and elsewhere at his other establishments. Yeah, they'll get you on those payroll taxes. You've got to stay up on those. You're not getting away with that at all. Now, he pleaded guilty to one felony count of failure to pay over trust fund taxes in U.S. District Court in Charlotte, North Carolina, where he operated the now closed nightclub, Club 1, and an eatery, Sports 1 Bar and Lounge. The report notes that Thomas collected over $640,000 in income, Social Security, and Medicare taxes from employees' paychecks at his restaurants in Charlotte between 2017 and 2022. He then used the money to make cash withdrawals and pay for travel and real estate. He also collected more than $1.1 million in taxes from employee wages at Bar 1 Miami Beach and Bar 1 Baltimore from 2021 to 2023, and did not pay that money to the IRS. In 2023 interview with the Baltimore Banner, he had admitted to using money from various restaurants to finance Bar One Baltimore, saying, "We have to borrow from Paul to pay Peter." No pun intended, I'm sure. The maximum sentence Thomas faces is 5 years in federal prison, a $250,000 fine, and up to 3 years of supervised release. The terms of his plea have not been released. So this story is definitely going to be continuing on and developing as time goes on. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on this story myself, and anything that comes up in updates, I will be sure to bring that here to the channel so we can talk about it, and you share your thoughts about it. Honestly, this is just really sad to me. It's very unsettling, but one can see how when you're getting into the business world and doing all those different things, you just have to be so careful to dot all your I's and cross all your T's. You got to make sure that certain things that need to be taken care of in payment aspects you're taking care of, i.e. your taxes. You just can't mess around with that. Eventually it's going to catch up to you. You might think that the world of justice and the term of that, things may go slow. It doesn't. The wheels of justice don't always go slow for everything and everyone. But by the time it hits you, it hits you hard. So, you definitely got to keep up on those things. And it just seems like, he kept running from one thing to another, in the hopes of obviously trying to make a go at these things. And I think it's unfortunate there were so many eateries and areas in which that they just didn't, manifest into continuing on. And sometimes when you try to franchise something so quickly, this is where you can have problems. Or there could be other issues also that contributed to why he found himself in the situation he's in. But the price of this seems really, really steep. So, best wishes to him on this, and I'll definitely be keeping abreast on it. But let me know your thoughts about this. I mean, what do you think about all of this situation? Just let me know down in the comment section. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our final sharing, and that is going to be what the heck is going on with Mr. Jeremy Robinson. I tell you what, it seems like I am reading something or hearing something about Jeremy every other month, maybe less than that. And it's usually pertaining to the love life or the back and forth with Tamar Braxton. And here's the deal. I really, really like Tamar Braxton. I just really come to like her. I mean, yes, there's some things that she does that maybe not be so cool, but we're all human and everybody makes mistakes and all these kinds of things. And she has really put a lot of herself on display, with their TV show. By the way, the Braxtons are coming back, and I'm going to be watching because I was a real invested fan, if you will, as far as watching the show. I made sure that I would be present to watch it because I really enjoyed the family aspect of what was going on. Continued, thoughts and prayers to them as they go through all of the situations surrounding, the passing of Tracy. I miss her, just her presence being here, with us as well. And, I know that is probably going to be something that's going to be depicted and shown in the show. So definitely going to be sensitive and empathetic to the situation at hand. But, Tamar has really gone through it, whether it's been self-inflicted or it's just happened through consequence that was unintended. It's just been a lot. And Jeremy's just been a lot. Seems to be a lot of back and forth whether or not they were engaged or not engaged. I think at this point they're still engaged because they had gotten re-engaged in 2023. Christmas of 2023, and then there was still stuff that kept brewing, and we are only in the middle of the year, into 2024. I mean, we're edging out of that, but at the end of the day, there was so much going on with Mr. Jeremy. So yeah, let's get into this hot new hip hop sharing, because apparently there's some alleged situation going on with Mr. Jeremy Robinson. So it's basically sharing, and this is going to all be alleged because it seems to be a little bit of gray area as to exactly the details about this situation. So things, I'm sure the story will unfold. I don't think there has been any kind of comment made by either Tamar or Jeremy for that matter in this case. So I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes out on it as well and bringing updates as they come if they are shared forward. But of course, for this particular sharing, all things are alleged. So, but they are reporting here that Jeremy Robinson was hit with a DUI arrest. Robinson, they said, was arrested in the state of Georgia. This would have been the end of June, I believe, when this happened, the very end of June. And then it's not too long after that's when they started reporting that this was going on. And apparently there's several sources that are reporting this. But again, we're just going to stay with the alleged area because this is something that I'm sure that they're waiting on more information before. So now for those who may not know, Jeremy Robinson is the on again, off again partner of Tamar Braxton. Overall, the two have had a bit of a tumultuous relationship over the years, from called off engagements to reconciliations. These two have certainly gone through it all. However, fans haven't always been fans of the relationship. Many have their own 2 cents with them, some asking for Tamar to leave this man alone once and for all. You know, sometimes, I don't know, is it a case of the heart wants what the heart wants? So now recently, Robinson found himself in the midst of a pretty massive controversy. According to several outlets, JR was arrested in Georgia for allegedly driving under the influence. Again, all things alleged. This is a very serious allegation that can put other people in harm's way. And in the report, it states that Robinson was hit with 3 misdemeanors in the process. Willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and driving under the influence of alcohol were among the charges. Having said that, Robinson was quickly released on bond after his arrest. And as stated, because not much is known about the details other than this, they said Jeremy Robinson had been released on bond. So he had been, released pretty quickly. So I would love to know your thoughts about the situation. What are your thoughts about Jeremy and Tamar's relationship, for starters? I personally think that maybe they're better off as being friends, but I'm not in the relationship, and I'm pretty sure she's going to do whatever she wants to do, because that's one thing Tamar does do. She does whatever she feels is right for her to do. It may not always be the right thing to do, may not be the popular thing to do, but she's going to do what she wants to do. And therefore, when you do that, you have to own your decisions, right? But I would really want to see Tamara. I wouldn't want to see her in just a different situation that's much more uplifting and inspiring, and keeps her in the limelight for all the positive things, instead of always this kind of train wreck situation happening. And this is just one more thing. Now, with the new show coming on in August, I wonder if we're going to see any of this as the season continues on. You know, sometimes a season may be filmed all the way through, and then if something happens that's significant enough, it may be, you know, kind of sandwiched into the show as a reflection of what was happening at the time, in current times, to kind of keep it, you know, fresh at that point. But, you know, I wonder if anything's even going to be said of this, because again, like I said, there's not a whole lot of details that have been provided for this particular situation. So the amount that they've gotten is, you know, pretty good, I would say, because at least, you know, you got the charges that are alleged to have happened and taken place. So, you know, he is also an attorney. So this is, you know, another element or factor to the situation that just kind of perplexes me, and why this would be something that would be taking place, and why he'd be in the middle of something like this. But yeah, I just really want to see Tamar win, and I just don't know if this is the relationship in which that's going to happen. That's my thoughts. I'd love to know your thoughts. And do you think that there's more to come for this story? Do you think that's going to be something they'll be able to hush and move past? But just let me know your thoughts respectfully down in the comment section, because I would definitely love to know. And, you know, I think with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. I'm not really sure if we're going to pop up with another video today, but if so, make sure you have your notification bell on, so that way you don't miss it. Make sure it's on all too, so that way you get all of the notifications when I drop a video. But definitely let me know your thoughts on this one and the one I just previously dropped. I've also got some other videos that I just dropped as well. Also too, if you're watching Real Housewives of Orange County, I did a recap and review on that, and on the first episode for season 18. It was a good one, I have to say. This was definitely one of those ones that I think that they did really good for the first out the bat, especially for that particular series. They, you know, it's not a contrived storyline, so I'm here for it, and I want to know if you are. And so go ahead, if you're watching, definitely take a look at that recap and review. Let me know your thoughts about the storylines and things that are going on that is shared in that video, because I would love to know. And yeah, I think that about again do it. I hope that you are staying cool and definitely enjoying this weekend as well as best as you can. Although for those who are dealing with the hurricane that has just crossed over, and I believe that Texas is still getting it right now. I'm not really sure exactly where it is at this point, how far up north it's gone, but I hear that Houston is having a hard time weather-wise and with the rains and stuff. So my heart and my thought prayers definitely go out to you guys and to anyone who has been affected by this hurricane. I think the name is Bethel or Beryl, that has crossed over. I know that Jamaica, I believe, the islands and such have really got hit hard as well. So my thoughts and prayers to all that have been affected by this storm. Please be safe. Please keep safe. And yeah, stay blessed. And I will see you later. So take care. Bye.